Hey guys, welcome back to the CulePodcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, we're going to be giving the match reaction regards Barcelona's semi-final tie against Osasuna. Barcelona, they managed to win 2-0 against Osasuna. And guys, before we get started on the video, make sure to follow me on all of my social media platforms. Everything's posted down below in the description. Go make sure and check me out over there. That way you guys can stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. And guys, if you guys also want to join in and give your thoughts, comments, reactions, just go on my Twitter page at CulePodcast. Click on the StreamYard link, and then you'll be able to join and give your thoughts about the match. But guys, let's get straight into it and let's talk about Barcelona's victory against Osasuna in the Super Copa. But let's look at how Barcelona lined up. You had Iñaki Peña in goal, and in the defense, you had Balde, Christensen, Araujo, Koundé. In the midfield, you got Frankie de Jong, Gundogan, Sergio Roberto, and up top, you got Ferran Torres, Lewandowski, and Rafinha. Now, just to briefly give my thoughts about the game, I thought that the first half was really mediocre from Barcelona. We didn't really create much. We had a good opportunities from Lewandowski, from Rafinha, and as well as from Christensen as well, just like from a corner or anything. But overall, the performance was relatively flat. And in the second half, Barcelona, they did manage to improve. Osasuna, they did a good job of being a tight and solid defensive block. And Frankie de Jong actually came out in the press conference later, which we are going to dive in, and he was talking about that. He was basically saying like, "Hey, Osasuna, they made it very difficult for Barcelona to break down." And in the second half, the subs that came in, Joao Felix, Pedri, Lamine Yamal, they did help to get the goals in which and basically improve the performance of Barcelona. But looking at each player individually, starting with Iñaki Peña, I thought Iñaki Peña he was solid tonight. Against Barbastro, there could be some question mark regarding his performance, and especially in that penalty. But Iñaki Peña, he did have one or two key saves in this match, and if it wasn't for him, we could have been going down and concede. Balde, solid. He was more defensive today than offensive. Offensive, he didn't really create much. He wasn't really being a threat down that left wing. But he was solid defensively. Christensen and Araujo, they cut so many dangerous plays, and they basically didn't allow any dangerous opportunities to fall for Osasuna. Very good job for them. Christensen and Araujo with some fantastic passings. And guys, something that I do have to mention, Araujo has improved tremendously on his passing. When he first came through Barcelona, that was actually his biggest weakness. And that's something that was criticized of Araujo's game. But since then, he has been improved tremendously. There are multiple instances in the game where he was just pinging balls left, right, and center and giving some fantastic balls. And Koundé, I actually thought he was the best defender on the night. Koundé on playing in that right back spot was such a danger going forward. Carrying the ball, some well defending. He was absolutely brilliant on the night. Fantastic job from Koundé. And I did criticize Koundé for in the previous matches because of his lackluster performance. But just like when you criticize a player when he performs bad, you praise them when they do well. Now we're going in the midfield. You had Frankie de Jong, Gundogan, and Sergio Roberto started, as usual. Frankie de Jong and Gundogan, I wouldn't say they had a particularly brilliant game. I wouldn't say that they were like the stars of the match. But Gundogan, he did get the assist for Lewandowski's opening goal. And it was actually Christensen who intercepted it. And so, you give props to Gundogan for that for that assist. And overall, he had a relatively good game. I would say that. Sergio Roberto, he did have one good opportunity, which he was able to making like a driving run. Let me see if I can bring it up right here. But he had an opportunity where he was making a run, and he chose the wrong move. Instead of passing it to Rafinha all wide, he passed it to Lewandowski, and Lewandowski missed. But let me see if I can pull it up, boys. Ah, it should be right here. Let's see if I can find it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Give me a second, boys. Hmm. Should we ready to pass? May I do that? No, that's old. What happens if I do this? Um. Oh, right here, found it. Okay, so this was the sequence of play, guys. Okay, so this is Sergio Roberto on the ball right here. And instead of passing it to Rafinha, as you can see, he passes it to Lewandowski out wide. And in that sequence of play right there, Lewandowski gets a good chance, but he isn't able to put it away. And that was actually say Sergio Roberto's best opportunity of the match. He wasn't, able to create much from that, but look at this comment. The worst is that 98% sure that Rafinha might have bottled it either because he doesn't know how to score. But well, but that was Sergio Roberto's best moment of the game. He later came on for he later came off for Pedri, who guys, Pedri had like a couple of minutes, but he was absolutely fantastic. Um, and something that we haven't talked about, guys, is that Rafinha actually came off at the end of the first half in the 42nd minute mark with a hamstring injury. And that's just bad news. We don't know how long Rafinha is going to be out for, but it's most likely that he's going to be out for that. He isn't going to be able to play this weekend against Real Madrid. So what we're most likely going to be able to see is either Ferran Torres on the right and maybe Joao Felix on the left, or what we could see is possibly Lamine Yamal start. That's a possible alternative. But I posed to you guys the question: what would you guys rather see? A front line of Lewandowski, Ferran Torres, and Joao Felix, or Ferran Torres, Lewandowski, and Lamine Yamal for this weekend against Real Madrid? But talking about Lewandowski, overall his game was relatively poor. I wouldn't say it was a good game. He did get a key goal to open up the scoring, which we do praise him. That you're doing your job, you're scoring your goals. But overall, just it's clear to us that Lewandowski, his time at Barcelona, after the season ends, he should be on his way out. Lewandowski should be leaving because a player on his wages, we just and for the amount of output that he's given us, it's not worth it. Barcelona, they should be looking to offload him in the summer. But now talking about Ferran Torres, another player who didn't really do much into the game. He was tracking back a lot. He did press, but overall offensively he didn't offer much. And talking about the subs who actually came on, it was Joao Felix and Lamine Yamal, apologies, who were actually able to do a very good job and who were actually able to create. Um, Talking about Joao Felix, he came on in the 61st minute. And for that second goal, he created a moment of magic. He did a fantastic back heel, and then a nutmeg, and then following that back heel, he did another nutmeg, and then passed it to Lamine Yamal, who basically got the second goal. And for that sequence of play, it was absolutely magical from Joao Felix. And guys, just like with Kunde, when you criticize a player when he's doing poorly, you praise him when he's doing well. Absolutely fantastic work from Joao Felix to get that second goal. And Xavi, he didn't really use all the subs. He brought on Lamine Yamal, he brought on Joao Felix, and he brought on Pedri. But he had two unused subs, which I'm pretty sure he was saving just in case Barcelona they were to go into extra time. Luckily, we didn't go into the extra time, but overall, I thought the performance in the first half was mediocre. Second half, much better. But we move. We finally win a game by more than one goal. We win 2-0 and we keep a clean sheet. I think that's super important, knowing and going into the game against Real Madrid, because if we lost or we conceded, that would have dampened our confidence levels. And now we have a titanic match this weekend against Real Madrid. But boys, let's see what social media is saying regarding the match. And let's see it. All right, let's go for it. Lamine Yamal is already the youngest ever goal scorer in La Liga, the youngest ever goal scorer in European qualifiers, the youngest ever goal scorer in the Spanish national team, and the youngest ever goal scorer in a Spanish Super Cup. Once again, guys, you applaud the work of Lamine Yamal. That's crazy to think about. This guy is so young. He's 16 years of age, or just turned 17, and he's creating moments of magic out onto the pitch. And when Lamine Yamal came on, bro, he was so threatening. He gave some very key and decisive passes, and he's a player that I definitely want to see more of. Um, Xavi Hernandez is managing the emergence of Lamine Yamal in the best possible way. The problem is that at 16 years old, he's already ready to be a starter on this team. Yeah, and that's something that you basically can't have, because you can't burn out a 16-year-old because he just isn't developed physically. Ilkay Gundogan versus Osasuna, 1 assist, 104 touches, 82 out of 85 passes, the most, 96 passing accuracy. Continuing on, most, 6 chances created, most. Overall, very good game from Gundogan. We're gonna need a repeat of this against Real Madrid though, because that game is gonna be even tougher. But a very good performance from him. Also, yeah, you're sorry. I see that you're trying to enter into the watch long, but you're gonna need to connect your mic or your camera, but it's most likely the mic because it's not letting me let you join. Look at this. Understand Al Ittihad are working on a deal to sign Angel Correa. Okay, that's gonna be interesting. Even when we win, why does it feel like we lost? Nah, guys, be happy that we won. Joao Felix, when everyone is hating him, he turns into R9. This motherfucker is crazy. He gets injured and comes back playing the same like nothing happened. Best midfielder in the world. Pedri, if he wasn't injured, bro, he would be in a class of his own. There we go. Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly. Sounds amazing. Um, but I was just talking about the game, talking about Pedri. Uh, Thoughts on the match?
When it comes to like these games, I just want to win the matches because like I rather like just win like barely doing it than playing well but lose. So
Okay.
yeah,
I agree with you to some extent. I think the goal was just getting to the final. Just like having that financial incentive, of course, because as we know that Barcelona, they're not in like the greatest financial spot and everything. So getting the win is important, but also getting the winning by more than 2 goals and keeping a clean sheet. I think that's super important ahead of the match against Real Madrid. But feelings ahead of that match. How do you think that match against Real Madrid is going to go?
it's based on who we start on like I think on your attack and on the midfield as well because like who's gonna be
Okay.
like with Frankie and Gundogan and Lewandowski starting because
Yeah.
and
Okay.
Rafinha's injured as well. So what's gonna happen with that? Like, are we gonna start your out or play with two up front?
Okay. If you were Xavi, who like what would be your lineup?
I'll keep I'll keep the back four as it is. Play Gunnigan, De Jong. I'll try to play Furman, especially since the last Clasico he played well.
Okay. Okay. So you'd be bold in starting Firming, which like I actually wanted to see Firming Lopez actually start for this game, but Xavi opted for Sergio Roberto like the safe bet. And up top, what would you do with Rafinha's injury?
Uh, I guess I guess we will have Sergio Mal and Lewandowski and Ferran. I guess because
You wouldn't start Felix.
I mean either Felix or Ferran because personally I think Ferran plays better when he comes off the bench.
Okay, okay. As a super sub, so you're saying. I mean,
Yeah.
that's actually solid. What I was thinking is that okay, when you're looking at the lineup, Xavi can go with like 2 routes. He can go either with Ferran on the left and Lamine Yamal on the right, or he starts Ferran on the right and Joao Felix on the left. Yeah, he has two options right there. And I'm thinking the most likely option is that he's going to be starting both Ferran and Joao Felix up top and Sergio Roberto in the midfield. I think I actually think that that's the lineup that Xavi's going to go for, just because I think Xavi's going to want some experience in a game against Real Madrid, especially since it's the final. I don't think that he's willing to start both Fermin and Lamine Yamal in such a key occasion, but that's just my 2 cents on the whole thing. Whether Xavi goes for that, we'll have to see.
I mean,
But
Sergio Roberto does play good in El Clásicos though, so that.
oh yeah, Gundogan plays really well in those big games.
No, Roberto, I meant.
Oh yeah, it's just Sergio Roberto. Oh, bro, that El Clasico performance in 2017, I believe, when he made that run, brilliant.
And even the one in the 4-0 on the Bernabeu, he had 2 assists.
Oh my God, yes, I completely forgot about that. Wait, was he the one who gave? No, actually, no.
I think he assisted both of Suarez's goals.
Oh yeah, and the opening goal, yeah. I was thinking about that because I was thinking about the Iniesta goal, but that was actually Neymar who gave the assist, I believe. But
yeah,
but Sergio Roberto, he is a player who turns up for El Clásicos. Hopefully that does happen. But wow, look at this. The winners of all the Spanish Super Cup final El Clásicos. So it heavily favors Real Madrid.
But the thing with those, I think like the first couple are 2 legs, so
2 legs. Okay, so like everything before 2000.
2018.
Yeah.
Anything before there.
Oh, I remember that. The 2017, 2018. That was a season in which but Valverde just came into the club, and then you had Marcos Alonso have that amazing long shot. That was like where Ronaldo also like took off his shirt after like trying to copy Messi. But it was it's interesting. Hopefully we win in the Sunday. Frankie De Jong spoke to Movistar after the match. It's a long time since we won by more than 1 goal difference, but a win is a win. We played well. I think our first half wasn't good, but the second half was a lot better from our side. I completely agree. Do you agree with that? Sorry.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I didn't watch the first half, so I wouldn't know about that. But the second half, yeah, it was important that we did score the 2 goals, and now we're in the final. So
no, I don't even know what to think when it comes to Felix. He is so unpredictable. Some games he makes you ask yourself, why did you ever have any question marks about him? Because everything seems so easy. Then he drops a 0 out of 10 a week later. This is so true. This is why I think like Joao Felix is such like a frustrating player. But I ask you, what are your thoughts on Joao Felix? Are you like a fan of him?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of him, but I do think he's a talented player, but he lacks like consistency.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
But if any player plays for Barca, I just want them to do well. So
obviously, like any player who supports Barca, I'm completely with you in this. Any player who's playing for Barca, I support them. I want them to do well because they're at Barcelona. But obviously, you understand it doesn't always turn out well. And regarding that, I pose the question: would you keep Felix? Because I know like lots of Barcelona fans, they're a little bit iffy regarding this question. Me personally, I know what I'm doing.
It would depend on the price tag.
The price tag. Okay. 50 million.
No.
What would you do?
That's
no. Okay. 35.
No, but I feel like 30 million under is like the sweet spot. Like the sweet spot, but I don't think Atletico are gonna accept to that. So
You know what? I'm actually like on it. In basically in the same situation as you. I would actually sign Felix if maybe we buy him for 20, 25 million. Anything under 30 is like I think would be a win because Felix, as a squad player, I actually think like he'd do pretty well. But if you're spending 50, 60, 70 million on him, then that's where like no. Felix isn't worth that type of money. And funny enough, Atletico Madrid's price tag on Felix is 80 million. That's insane.
I mean, I would prefer to use the rest of that for like other positions like a CDM or even like a winger or wingers.
Oh my God! We desperately need a CDM. Desperately. We didn't play a brilliant game, but we played a control game. I would agree with that. Also, Osasuna they didn't really create much, but they did have like some dangerous opportunities right there. The most athletic pleasing on the player. Argue with a wall. Oh yeah, to some extent. Oh, it was this instance right here. Is this a red or no?
Wait, he was the last man, right?
Yeah, he like Rafinha was tackled by I believe it was Cantana, and he was the last man, but he only received a yellow card for this instance.
I mean, I think it's only a red if it's like a clear goal scoring opportunity. So
Okay, so you agree with the referee where it's only a
I don't
yellow?
know. I think base. I don't know. Personally, I don't know because since he's like that far away, it's kind of like hard to say, oh, red
Yeah.
or yellow.
I'm I'm in the camp where I definitely agree. It's possibly like an orange, where like you can give a red because of that, but I also understand if you give a yellow because like I believe it was Gomez who was like right next to Rafinha. So even if Cantana doesn't make that foul, it's still like Gomez could potentially catch up, but he is last man. But I definitely see why people are saying it's a red card or yellow. Frankie De Jong MVP. Lovely to see that. Um, De Jong, there are 2 days for the final, which is more than enough time. We did not play extra time, and we will not have to travel. We will be ready. That's actually something that could work in our advantage. Real Madrid, they actually played, a lot more football than us. They played 120 minutes. They went into extra time against Atletico Madrid, and so hopefully we can use that to our advantage against Sunday. But it's going to be a tough game to win. It's going to be a tough game to win. Um. Oh wow, bro, this caught me off so off guard. Eric Dyer to Bayern.
Yeah, that doesn't
It
seem
was
like
like
a
a weird
Bayern
trans.
type signing.
It doesn't, right?
Like if they do, they usually censor from like their own league, not really from like on the Premier.
Oh, we're definitely going to have to see how Eric Dyer does. I definitely think that was just like a panic signing, but it's going to be interesting. But these are some quotes from Xavi. Pedri is ready to start on Sunday in El Clasico. For me, Sergio Roberto is a very important player, and he will be important against Madrid. Okay. So, do you start Pedri for the El Clasico or no?
I think it. I think it would be like too soon, because since he just came back.
Yeah, yeah. I would say basically, it's depending on that first half goes. If that first is 0-0, then I say bring on Pedri in maybe the 60-minute mark around there. But if no, even then I don't know because like it is a final. It's a chance for a trophy, and it's against Real Madrid, and so you need Pedri to play that game. But I don't know if you start him.
Especially since the player that Pedri is, because he does get injured a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And you want him there for the matches against Napoli because we play against Napoli next month. And if he gets injured, oh my god, it's like Xavi has a dilemma on his hand right there. It's gonna be tough. But okay, closing thoughts regarding the match. Anything you want to talk about? Anything thought the match as a whole or on a specific player?
I thought Gundogan did for the first goal was good. L- Like like how we went through the space and found Lewandowski. So I thought
Yeah,
that
it was
pass was good.
a very good pass, a very good pass from Gundogan.
I thought what Felix did for a second goal was pretty nice. That
Oh my
dribble and
god.
then
Ah, bro, when I saw that, I was like, "Oh my god, Felix! Moment of magic!" That little back heel that he made, and then that nutmeg. I was like, "Felix, where has this been for so many games?" And this is exactly why, like, I brought up that quote. Like Felix, like he would produce moments of magic like that, but then at the same time he would put in performances like he did against Barbastro. And so it's that inconsistency that just that makes me not want to pay that huge fee to Atletico Madrid.
And I also thought the Lamine Yamal's goal was pretty good as well because
Yep. Yeah. The absolutely brilliant finish from Lamine Yamal. Hey, he becomes like the youngest goal scorer in the Spanish Super Cup. But that's Lamine Yamal. A shame that Rafinha, he did get injured. That's going to be a blow.
wait, has it been confirmed how long or is
No, it hasn't been confirmed how long. We do know that it's a hamstring injury, but we're gonna have to see for how long. But news has come out that's saying like, hey, Rafinha is not going to be able to play this Sunday, but hopefully it isn't too serious. We're gonna have to see. But is it Yusore? Is that how I pronounce your name?
yeah?
Okay, perfect. Yusore, thanks for stopping by, man.
Thanks for
But
having me.
guys, yeah, of course, of course. Every match reaction, I post a link, and later tonight, I'm actually going to be making a transfer rating. So if you want to tune into that and talk about any transfers, you're always welcome. But guys, thank you guys all for watching. Barcelona versus Osasuna 2-0. We get a victory. We're through to the final of the Supercopa de España, a chance to win a trophy, and won an opponent to do it against Real Madrid. Let's see if we have a repeat of last year. Guys, if you guys don't remember, last year we won 3-1, in which Barcelona absolutely embarrassed Real Madrid, giving them a footballing lesson. And hopefully we see a replicate of that. And it becomes a turning point for Barcelona's season. But guys, thank you guys all for watching your story. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate every single one of you guys coming and watching. And as always, guys, remember, like, subscribe, and comment.